Recording. All right, I like that. All right. Ooh, doggies. It's humid. Not quite hot here today, but it's humid. Don't know where the kids are. The kids spent the night with Granny last night. I had a whirlwind trip to Houston. Went down on Tuesday, had a meeting Wednesday morning, and caught a plane back from Houston. I'm never, ever flying to Houston again. I will always drive to Houston from now on, unless if I'm trying to fly someplace else. Forget that. It took me 9 hours to go through the whole airport process, to go from here to the airport, to get on the plane, to go across the state, to get off the airport, to get a rental car and get to the hotel room was 9 hours. It's a 6.5 hour drive. I'm not doing that anymore. Never, 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 never again. I thought it was going to be a round trip day. I thought I was going to wake up in the morning, take the early flight out, hit my meeting, and then fly back in one day. That would have been worthwhile. Found that I couldn't do it, but the flight had already been booked. So, not doing that anymore. What else is going on? Oh, that we were talking about the kids. So the kids stayed the night with my mom because the wife's still in Europe. Haven't heard from them yet today. I suspect that my mother is holding them hostage. She is likely to be saying something to the effect of, I just have to come back and get them again in the morning, so I might as well just keep them, which would not be beyond her to say. Just a little heads up, little heads up, Mom. If you could, give me a call. So, just me tonight, me and the dogs. We've been fighting because they don't like to go outside. It's been raining all morning. They don't like to go outside in the rain. This is a back porch that has been enclosed. And so I put them out here during the day. And since it's been raining all morning long, they don't like to go outside to go potty. I don't like for them to potty on the back porch where I'm trying to art. So we're not friends. Don't come over here and pretend we're friends. So that's the excitement that's been going around here. Been messing around watching some Wild Kratts with the kids and hanging out with the kids for the last week or so while the wife's been gone, and I'm going to journal a little bit about totem animals. We watched a show about totem animals, so I'm going to journal a little bit about that. So let me get the intro to the YouTube video taken care of, and we'll talk more about what's been going on the other side. And there's no kids here to distract us. Goodness. Allergies are killing me. Whew. I don't dare take a Benadryl before the show anymore because it just makes a whole, well, hello everybody. How are you? All right. Hello, peoples! Welcome to this week's edition of The Artistic Biker. Last time on The Artistic Biker, we had taken a vacation down to the Carlsbad Caverns to see the bats, specifically to see the bats. We stayed all day to see the bats, but it started raining and hail started falling on us, and it disrupted the bats, and so the bats didn't flock out. And the way the cavern was found in the first place was when Jim White saw what looked like smoke coming out of the hillside, and he tracked it down, and it was the bats flying out. That's what we were waiting to see, and as you can tell, there's no bats. So, oh hell, where are all the bats? Anyway, that was last week. This week on The Artistic Biker, we're going to do a little bit about my totem animal. I've discovered my totem animal watching specials on Netflix with my daughter about totem animals and Wild Kratts. I've discovered my totem animal, and I'm going to journal a little bit about it. So with that, let's just turn the page and get started. Okay. Goodness. So, you get kind of used to having the kids around. It gets kind of quiet. There doesn't appear to be much going on in chat. It is lonely here. But you gotta have friends. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Nope. Riveting Entertainment. Hi to 40 Baker. Riveting Entertainment. Let me dry this real quick. I'll be right back. Hi, Carrie Rabs. I'll tell you, one of the hardest parts about moving out of the studio is finding all your stuff after you've packed it away. And I found my spray paints, and most of them, turns out most of them either don't have tops or they've all hardened, they've all clogged up. Because it got left out in the cold. I don't know where my X-Acto cutting board is. I swear I saw it. I don't remember where. Let me grab my spray paints real quick. I went to the Walmart this afternoon in a mad dash to gather up stuff and bought me some new spray paints so that I wouldn't have to be and a tub to keep them in, so I can keep them nice and orderly here because my space is so much smaller. You know, I don't want to have the same spread here that I had there. So, let's everybody put your masks on. Yeah, me too, to 40. About the time I get everything perfectly situated, it'll be time to move into another studio. Ooh, look at the shaking ball. Okay, get from behind. Oh. That puts down a lot of color. All right. Tell you what, let's freehand that just a little bit. Let's give me a guide there. See how fast we can cut those out. I should have been doing some of these before, because I know it's riveting entertainment watching a grown man play with scissors. What? Are the kids here? What do you see? What? Timmy fell down a well. Get a rope. What? The problem, this was the problem with the Longies. Because if I upload it straight from Ustream, you know, they get everything. They get all this. They get warts and all. They get the 10 minutes of hair drying. They get the 20 minutes of cutting stuff out with scissors. They get the dog barking. They get everything. If I take it down and upload, if I take it down and edit it, it adds a day of editing to my life. Dropped the wrong one. And you know there's forms you can buy for this. You can just go to the store and buy stuff like this. Little round cutouts. Leaf shapes. I'm just not into buying stuff. I get these ideas of things I want to try, and I'm just not into buying things for it, you know? So I cut out shapes. It is a lot of circles, and it's probably not as many as I wanted to do, but it's as many as I'm going to do. Dang it. The trick is to get enough paint on there, thin enough that it dries quickly, but not so hard that it blasts everything off. Yeah, that orange was kind of nice, wasn't it? That was pumpkin safety orange. That's going to come in real handy come Halloween time. I betcha. What is it? It is. It's lonely here. The wife's been gone too long. You know, normally I look forward to these times. I'm an only child of an only child, and normally I look forward to these times alone. But this is too much. This is too much alone time, even for me. Especially for me. Where'd this one come from? Anybody see where this one came from? Did I just miss it? Let's put it there. Now let's put it over here. I don't know. Let's put it there. I don't know how spray paint gets all over everything in the studio. It just amazes me. One day I'll wake up and there's just spray paint everywhere. It just cracks me up how the spray paint gets everywhere. How dedicated are you to this background? I mean, it's just a background. You've got to be pretty dedicated to a background. Backgrounds, a lot of time the background's the most important part. I mean, it's what makes it interesting. It's what drags the eye around the page, the painting, whatever it is you're doing. The background is what intrigues people. If you get lazy on your background, you've not given them anything thoroughly interesting, you know? That's my philosophy. Sometimes I'll do these really intricate backgrounds. Darcy used to she used to just swear at me because I would do these really intricate backgrounds and then cover them up. How are we doing on time? It's just about time for what's on your easel anyway. There we go. I think while I have that there, though, I'm going to do a little bit of finesse. Where'd that green go? All right. Let's change cameras while we get all that off of there. Put the lids back on the right colors so that I don't get them confused. And I gave another pocket knife to TSA, by the way. You know, when I travel, I try really hard. And I made sure I put my pocket knife up this time. I try really hard to make sure not to take anything that's going to get me probed by TSA. Well, that's just not going to fall off of there, is it? And every time it seems like there's something. This time there was a pocket knife in my backpack, and it wasn't my pocket knife. It was my wife's pocket knife. I took my pocket knife out. Of course, you can't tell TSA that. They're not interested in that story. And I thought they made a rule where you could have the up to 3.5 inches of pocket knife now. Hi, Kia Gillian. No, TSA is not interested at all in excuses or in me making suggestions on how they might be more efficient at their job. For some reason, they think they know what they're doing. I don't know what would have given them that impression. I just decided it was best, you know, not to argue with them. He says, "We found this knife in your stuff." And I said, "That was a gift for you." You're welcome. Again, that's the part that bothers me, though. You know, it's again. Not so much that it happened, just that it continues to happen. Who put all these little pieces of paper all over this? If you ever want to try anything like this with stamps or whatever, just remember whatever you want on top has to go on first. Something's not happening. Why is that not updating? There we go. Just remember, whatever you want to be on top has to go down first. Okay, so that's our background, almost. We have one submission for what's on your easel. So let's do that real quick. What's on your easel? What's on your easel? What's on your easel today? So let's see. The Sexy Redheaded Darcy, I believe, is the only easel submission I got. Yep. Sexy Redheaded Darcy is the only easel submission I have this week. But hers is a doozy. She's knitting hats for children in Moldova. Anyone who would like to knit and send me children's hats needs to do some before September, as that's when the convoy of food, medicines, and clothes sets off from the UK. So these kids in Moldova, she's making hats for them. She's knitting hats, and so anybody who can knit, get in touch with our Sexy Redheaded Darcy, and make some hats, and let's send them to Moldova. Those are cute hats, Stars. I may need a hat. We're now live in Moldova, but that was all we had. So I had only thing I have going on, and of course the kids aren't here to show off what they have. They have their books with them. So the only thing I had going on was these daily sketches that I've been doing. And I haven't even really been doing them daily, you know. But it's these little 5-minute value sketches that I've been trying to do. Of course, there was the zoo trip. After the zoo trip, we went to the Red Lobster because they have the delicious crab legs that we love. And there might have been some sketching at the zoo with the elephants and the rhinoceros and the pretty ladies with the children. So, but other than that, it's all been work, 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 work. As much fun as that is. So that is what was on my easel. That is what was on your easel. If you would like to be a part of what's on your easel, simply send an email to blade@artisticbiker.com, and we'll use your works to inspire other people to do stuff, because really that's what this is all about, is trying to get people to do stuff. And I don't know why it's so slow this week, but anyway, if you'd like to be a part, send an email to blade@artisticbiker.com with the subject line easel, and we'll use your works to inspire other people to do stuff. So that said, this is not quite dry. We're going to dry this a little bit more, and we'll be right back. Somebody asked me last week why I use a hairdryer and not a heat gun. And this is exactly why. And even a hairdryer doesn't really dry spray paint that fast. It just helps evaporate the thinner. Oh yeah, I knew that. I knew that, Doris. How many people? I thought they only had about 12 going. How many people ended up going? Does anybody know how many people went to went with Carrie and Paul and them. I knew that was going on. If I could have been there, I would have done that. That sounded like a lot of fun. And I think I might have been, if I had gone, I might have been one of the only people, one of the only men there, people. Because only men are people, right? There's a glare right there that makes it difficult to see. Okay. Let's switch to brush pen for this part. All right. I think that'll work as a background. You can talk about that. You can talk about anything you want to talk about as long as it's not pornographic, Ada Louise. Aren't they doing that Love Summer Art? Is Lori LaCree Fine Art doing that? And the Art Journal Video Group on Facebook, aren't they doing that too? Love Summer Art. I gotta do something about that glare. It is right where I need to see. That pencil doesn't work. Well, let's just freehand it then. A little bit of this. I don't like that paint. Let's use this paint. A little bit of this. A little bit of this. Where's the white? A little bit of this. All right. Let's see here. Does everybody remember last week when the little girl said that she would start cleaning out these cups for me again? Do you guys remember that? She has not, by the way. She has not done that. She said, "Sure, I'll do that for you, Daddy." Guess I'm going to have to break down and use an actual brown. Usually make my own brown, but this time I'm going for something in particular. I may have to dry that. That may be too wet. Let me dry that a little bit. See, the 17th is a Friday. They're talking in the chat room about the Internet Art Festival, Love Summer Art. If you're a YouTube video creator that does art videos, they're inviting people to create and post videos on the 17th through the 20th. I'll have to look more into the details and the requirements. It sounds like a good time. Water, 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 water. Put some water down to help my brushes move. Right there in that glare. That's not even dry. Look at that. That's not even dry. That's pretending to be dry. That's not even dry. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, Deporty. Their Facebook page says it just has to be arts and crafts. Their Facebook page said arts and crafts. So what is it? Yes, they do. I'm part of that. Well, I don't know if I'm part of the Art Sherpa, but I'm part of the one for the YouTube creators, arts and crafts. I don't know if that was the Art Sherpa or not. do do. Can't talk, Harding. Oh no, I would do it. I would do an extra video. How are we doing on time? Okay, DeForty, be careful. Let me dry this real quick so I can ink it. Here come the kids. Come here, babe. Who bit you?
No one. She nipped at me.
Hi, Mama.
Ah, son.
How are you?
Okay. All right. Here's your back. Are you finished with on your easel?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Where do you want me to put these?
What is it? Oh, the books? Just set them right there.
Okay. All right.
Did you do what's on your easel without me?
Yep, you weren't here.
Oh,
I
okay.
really want to spray paint on me.
Okay. All right. So give me that.
All right. Is that it? Really?
That's it.
Just come in and go?
Yep.
Because Grandpa's outside.
So I'll see you in the morning.
Bye,
Yes. What time?
What time?
Bye, Granny Macaroni.
7:30. Are you coming here or am I going there? No, it's in Surreal.
Moya, here's your toy. Here's your toy, Moya. Moya, here's your toy. Dad, could I use spray paint today?
No. You need to change out of those clothes anyway.
Okay. Mine's all in poison.
This needs shading. I'm gonna add some shading to this.
No! What is that?
You can't tell?
Can't tell. What is it? That what I'm trying to draw.
What's that?
A wing?
It makes me feel bad when the children can't tell what it is.
If it was right side up walking on the flag about to walk on the tree, I can know what it is.
Tell me about it, Ada Louise. It's so nice when they're here. 'Cause I get so lonely.
It's a swamp.
Okay.
Dad, did you hear him? He's right. Okay. He's right. Okay. Kuma's right. Monday!
What about Monday?
I love you.
What?
What's a two-term?
What?
What's a two-term animal?
Totem animal? Totem animal. You remember in Avatar
Yeah.
when he had
Appa.
the spiritual animal guide?
Yeah. Appa.
It was the dragon for Roku. It was Appa for
Aang.
Aang.
Yours is a sloth.
Yeah.
The mole badgers were tall. You actually have to turn the handle, brother. Did you look that up or something?
What?
What your totem animal was?
No.
Did
I
you
just
look
was,
that up or something?
after we were watching Wildcrats the other day, I realized what
It was a sloth.
everything I had in common with them.
That's funny.
Well, I was at Walmart this afternoon buying new spray paints.
You went to Walmart
I did,
without me?
without you, exactly.
You're so mean.
Buying new spray paints, I had to get some Tinactin because I have fat lead's foot.
No, you don't. You wanna watch Mission Impossible tonight?
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it does actually. I saw a commercial for it this morning on Granny's TV. It's awesome. Looking. I don't know if the movie is awesome. But the Italian Job was.
I like the Italian Job.
Dad, I can't find my big book. Oh, that's horrible.
That's probably the saddest story I've heard in a long time, son.
May I use that X one?
Which one?
The one that's blue?
What are you after? What are you talking about?
Hair.
Huh?
Talking about big book.
Where's your book?
I can't That's what I just said, Dad. Gosh, weren't you listening?
Oh.
Like, weren't you listening? Do you have a tiny little paintbrush I can
City Sound, there are things that you can do where you can go you can go online and they'll tell you that you're supposed to meditate and you're supposed to focus on nature, and when you meditate you're supposed to pick out your totem animal, figure out what your totem animal is. But this is more of a joke because when we were watching we were going back and forth between Avatar the Last Airbender and Wildcrats, which is a nature cartoon. It's a cartoon about two guys that are out being nature conservationists. And it's really, look it up, Wildcrats. It's a really fun cartoon for kids to learn about nature. Anyway, we were going back and forth between Avatar the Last Airbender and Wildcrats, and on Avatar the Last Airbender they were talking about their totem animals, their spirit guides, and all this other stuff. And then we're flipping over to Wildcrats, and they're talking about the animals that they're looking at that week. And the guy's talking about a sloth, and he's got this suit on that makes him imitate a sloth and everything. And
he can't talk fast. He's like, oh.
And I saw that, and I knew immediately that's exactly what my totem animal is. It's a sloth. 'Cause I don't want to do anything. Just gonna hang in this tree.
It's a three-toed sloth, by
upside down, smacking a child. Oh, smacking. So that was the joke that we were talking about when we were watching the. I said, "That's my totem animal. That's my spirit guide right there, three-toed sloth." And so that's what this is about, because we were going back and forth between Wildcrats and Avatar. And again, it's one of those pages that nobody's going to get. That did. Oh, I got you. That nobody's going to get. That didn't watch this or didn't or wasn't part of this family. What, buddy?
I will spank you.
I'll spank you.
Right. Even though it's going to end badly.
So anyway, that was that. So that's this week's page, and yeah, again, we're still done about 30 minutes early.
That's Dad.
But turns out my totem animal is a sloth, and Darcy likes when I throw out animal facts. What, buddy?
May I use your book at Playtime?
My what? No, go get your book. Your book's in the living room. We're going to be in the house in just 5 minutes. But Darcy likes when I throw out animal facts. Darcy, there's a moth that lives on the sloth. The moth eats the algae. The sloths move so slow, the algae grows. You know, they hang upside down so much that their fur grows belly out and it hangs down. And and they grow algae on because they move so slow. And there's a moth called a sloth moth that lives off of the algae, and the sloth will climb down out of the tree to
Go to the restroom.
Go to the restroom. They don't really rest there though. They'll climb out of the tree
They go to the potty.
To potty, and at that time the moth will fly off of them and lay eggs, and then the sloth will climb back up in the tree, and the eggs will fertilize in the there's a word for that. I don't care. In the stuff.
In the manure.
And then when the egg hatches, the moth flies out and finds its own sloth to live on. So there you have it. There's a life cycle of moth that lives entirely on the slowness of three-toed sloths. Because Darcy likes animal facts when we do these shows. So there's that. Turns out my totem animal is a sloth. Guys, thank you so much for joining me this week. You know this is my favorite night of the week when I get to art with my besties. I always appreciate people who turn out to watch because, you know, it's a 90-minute program. Actually, this week it was only an hour long. No, we started... No. It's an hour-long program, about a 3-minute video. So be sure and tune in next week. Same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel. What's going on next week? I may be broadcasting from Birmingham, Alabama next week. I'll keep you updated, but I may be broadcasting from Birmingham, Alabama next week. So next week may be a little bit more NASCAR related. And then the week after that, SeaWorld. So
have fun. You'll get to see world pictures.
So guys, have a great week. Be sure and tune in next week. Same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel. Mwah. Peace out. And I think the kids and I are going to go watch Mission Impossible. We're either going to go watch Mission Impossible or what's that movie with Tom Cruise and where he's Night and Day.
Night and Day.
We're either going to go watch Mission Impossible or Night and Day. Or maybe we'll watch, since we don't have Mom here, maybe we'll watch Fight Club.
Oh no, I'm too young for that.
Or, I don't know.
Shut up, minion.
We dance until somebody... I see you dancing. Thank you, Kia. Bye-bye.
It's like, shut up, minion.